right, let me go over to Instagram. I hear the thunder. Come on, Instagram.
I thought maybe it was going to rain for my daughter's baseball, but it held off.
It's always a good thing. All right, there's that. Let's go here to Facebook. Got that. Almost, yep. One more thing. Come on. All right, I think we're good. All right. Silence my phone. Oops. Okay. Here we go. Episode 2729 for Monday. Welcome to episode 2729 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're getting ready for an awesome week. I know that it's going to be a scorcher here in the Midwest. We're looking at heat indices. I know it's the meteorologist in me, but it's going to be, I think, the hottest week of the summer. So I got to let you know that we're going to be melting here in the Midwest, as you probably are wherever you're listening to the show, if you're here in the States. So we're all in this together, like those folks from High School Musical, if you're of my vintage, where you had kids who just listened to that thing over and over and over back in the day. And I used to teach when that was popular, and everybody did the wow, cats all the time. It was a thing for about 5 summers in a row. But anyway, living the old days, and that's what we're going to do on today's show. We're going to talk some good old days at Epcot. We're going to talk we're going to try to cool you off with some Disney Cruise Line to Alaska talk and some future plans. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to head up north today with our good friend Rebecca up in Canada. Rebecca, thanks for joining us. What's going on?
Hello, Mike. Hello, listeners. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you. So how are things up north where our friends are? What's going on?
Things are pretty warm up here as well, but enjoying the summer. I'm a school bus driver, so I have the summer off, enjoying it with my daughter and my husband.
Ooh, I love anybody that works in education, talking to them in July, because it's the greatest month ever. But I mean, I remember those days when I used to work in education. I mean, is it the internal clock is ticking at this point? Is that kind of how it goes?
A little bit. We don't go back until September 2nd, so we have some time.
Nice.
But yeah, just trying to enjoy every minute, soak it all up.
That's good, because in the Midwest, we always went back earlier and earlier and earlier. So yeah, you guys up there, at least you're doing it right, where you don't go back for a little bit. So I'm glad for you that you did, because once we hit the 4th of July, which of course you guys will celebrate in Canada, but 4th of July here in the States, I was like, that's when I started to get stressed, right? That was like the turning point. I was like, I'm good. And like as soon as the fireworks ended on the 4th of July down here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to see back to school commercials. I can't handle those. Yeah. It's already happening. So, well, that's awesome. So, school bus driver. I've not talked to a school bus driver here on the podcast. Any good stories for that? I mean, that's got to take some skill. That's awesome.
Yes, I love my job. I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. And I was just looking for something. My daughter's going to be going into grade 2, and I was just looking for something to work around my husband's schedule, as he's a police officer. And this, I met somebody actually on the beach and in where we live, and she and I got talking. Her granddaughter was playing with my daughter, and I just was talking about wanting to find some sort of a job that would work with our schedule. And she's like, why don't you come drive bus? I drive the bus. It's awesome. So I did, went for the training. That was, I just finished my 3rd year of driving, and I love it. And I actually drive to my daughter's school. It works so perfectly. Yeah. And I drive all the country kids out where I live. I've gotten to know a lot of the families and the kids out here, and it's a very, very rewarding job. And I'm grateful to have found it.
We appreciate that. I mean, your husband's a police officer, and we appreciate all of our law enforcement officers out there keeping us safe every day, and appreciate you getting those kids back and forth to school safely. It's awesome to hear,
Thank
and
you. I really
love it.
appreciate
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, I didn't think about the connection. My grandma drove a school bus back in the day, and my grandpa was a cement mason, right? So he did like concrete work, like curbs and driveways and so forth. And he always told the stories that
that. Mhm.
my grandma would drive the bus, right? So she'd be cruising by and like, and she always talked about grandpa or grandma. I can't remember. This is, yeah, I'm old now, so this was forever ago, but she drove a bus back in the day that I guess had a double clutch, which I don't even know what that is because I drive a stick shift Jeep, right? So I know how to drive a stick, a manual, but apparently her bus had a double clutch, which was a
Oh
big
my
deal. I
God,
guess.
that sounds
So
complicated.
exactly. I mean, it was a thing, I guess. But the thing was, like, my grandpa would always be like, "Yeah, my buddies be like, here comes your old lady in the bus." Like, yeah, because I mean, it was like back in like the 70s or 60s. But
Yes.
I mean, grandma would always give him a boop boop. She
Oh
went
yes.
behind the and all the kids would wave at my grandpa, and I could just see it, like
They
I
know
heard.
when I'm coming too. Yeah, that's
So
awesome. I
funny.
drive the big bus.
Yeah.
I drive the big bus and I love it. And this year I actually was spoiled. I have a bus that has air conditioning for the
Oh,
driver, tinted
yeah.
windows, heated seats. It's the nicest vehicle I've ever driven. So,
They have
yeah.
those all around here. I never had a bus that had air conditioning ever because I played all sports and we used to drive from here, there, and everywhere, like, in all of our sports all over the place. And man, those things were just like microwaves. Like those school buses, they're so hot. Oh,
Yes.
so old. Anyway, so let's talk about your Disney fandom. We didn't come here to talk about all that, but that's fun and I love that. But so tell us about your backstory with your Disney fandom because we got a lot of stories to share today.
Yeah. So I ended up going to Disney quite a bit as a child. My parents actually had their honeymoon there in 1980. And then after that, we seemed to go almost every year. My sister and I was the oldest, and then my brothers came along. And my parents used to do it on the cheap just to make it affordable. We used to drive down to Florida. We would stay at a local motel, Holiday Inn, Red Roof Inn, whatever my parents could find that was cheap. And we ended up going to Magic Kingdom. I recall going to Epcot as a child. And yeah, we had a blast. I only remember staying on property once at one of the all-star resorts. I think the sports one in the 90s at some point. Yeah, so we went there quite a bit as kids, and then I ended up graduated high school in 2000. And the year prior, my parents had an exchange student stay with us for a month, and she was from Paris. So when I graduated, I went and saw her in Paris for a couple weeks, and she ended up taking me to Euro Disney, which was really interesting to see. We had a great time there. And then I started college. I finished a tourism program at Niagara College and saw a posting from Castaway, and they were the hiring agency. I don't know if they still are the hiring agency for the international program. I saw the posting. I would apply. And I remember standing in the kitchen at my childhood home, and I got a phone call, and it was a lot of like rapid fire questions that I had to answer very quick to pass the first round of interviews. Past that, and then I had a in-person interview at a local college. I ended up getting a letter in the mail saying I got hired, and I was over the moon, knowing that I'd be going to work at Walt Disney World. And I was there from February 2003 to February 2004. I can circle back to that. Was a great experience. And then just when I came back, life kind of just took over, responsibilities, and I always loved Disney, but my passion kind of lay dormant for a little while. I was just working, and ended up going there with my husband in 2018. I was pregnant with our daughter. We went to Disneyland and had a great time out there. I'd never been there. I wanted to see the original park. My husband had never been before to Walt Disney World or Disneyland. We had a great time there. And then I was for about 4 years, so we couldn't really afford to go anywhere. It wasn't until I got the bus driving job that we had some extra income, and I met a couple girls through my daughter's library programs, and they were huge Disney fans, and I was meeting with them for every week for coffee, and we would talk Disney and life, and they kind of got me excited again. And I booked the Disney Wonder to Alaska last year, and our family had a fantastic time. And since then, I've just been kind of planning the next few years how I'm going to squeeze Disney in so we can keep going.
You are
And we have
among our friends here because I mean I love this. You got so many stories. I mean, and it's exactly. I mean, I think a lot of us kind of take on second or third jobs to kind of fund what we do. I mean, it's like just or squeeze away some extra money. Like we don't do this, so we can take these Disney vacations, and sometimes we put it on the back shelf because life happens, right? I mean, like you just have like you start to have kids and like you're gonna go there, but you gotta wait a little bit, or you get married and you don't have kids, so you got a few years where you have a break. It sounds so familiar. I mean, I think a lot of us go through these cycles. So let's kind of break this down. I want to hear more about the college program, because I think a lot of us, and I've said this many times on the show, I would have done this if I'd have known about it in college, probably most likely. um we kind of talked in the pre-show, like I worked at space camp and I thought that was like the coolest experience I ever had. Now I was a lot older because I was already established as a teacher, because they needed certified teachers to go down and teach in the education department, which I loved. But I liked it because it was experiential, right? You got to go down there, you got to wear the flight suit, you got to lead the simulations, you got to run the simulators and all this stuff. But you got to interact with people from all over the world. That's what I enjoyed the most. Like I worked with other teachers from not only around the country, but around the world. Because the last week was International Space Camp. It was all teachers of the year from each of the 50 states and all around the world. And I learned so much by just being around people from around the world. And for somebody from Missouri, like that opened my eyes. Cutting the podcast at the time, it expanded my horizons like 1,000-fold working at space camp. It made my world so much bigger. So can you like talk to that? Like, what was it like when you went through the phone interviews, you got the in-person interview, and then like, how was it when you realized like this is happening? Like, I'm actually going to Florida. Like, what was that like?
It was so exciting to think that I'd be living in Florida, but also scary at the same time
Right.
because I was 20 when I started my contract down there. I'd never lived away from home. I stayed at home while I attended college locally. So a bit scary, but my father actually is a retired police officer and pretty protective. So he drove me down there. Many cast members flew down there, but my father drove me down with my sister and my grandmother just to make sure I was situated. I think he wanted to scope things out.
Yeah.
But we got there and I settled in, and yeah, it was great. I was a little bit nervous also because I wanted to be in merchandise and attractions. And I arrived with three other girls from Canada in my arrival group, and they had us put into food and beverage. So back home, I had only ever worked at a couple museums, historical museums. I worked at a hotel in Niagara Falls and a grocery store. So I had no experience with food and beverage. So I was quite nervous about that. But the training was fantastic. The traditions program, the food and beverage training that we received was excellent. And it ended up being the best thing that could have happened because ultimately I was a server in Le Cellier for the last 5 months of my contract. And that's where I got to talk to visitors the longest at, interactions while they were having their supper. And just, I got to see the fast paced action in the kitchen, and just, it was quite the experience. And I'm glad that I ended up in that area because I learned so much, and just levels of customer service that have never left me, that have carried on with me for jobs that I had after that. So
I love,
invaluable.
I love so many questions, and Michelle's here, and she apparently did the program as well. She's tuned in here on
Awesome.
YouTube. Let me ask you, just because I know a lot of our listeners are doing the program right now. Ella just did the program. Abby just did the program. We have tons of folks that listen that are former college program members or are doing it right now. What advice would you give somebody looking back? Because like again, I'm older, right? So I tell my daughter things, and I know it goes in one ear and out the other, but you've been there, and you kind of see the experience now from like the 30,000-foot view. What would you tell somebody? And again, it's been a few minutes since you've done the program, but what would you tell somebody about the program to so that they could get the most out of their experience?
Well, I would say if you had the opportunity to go for it, definitely. And just to soak in every moment that you can. Take every opportunity that you can for any training programs, which I did down there. I ended up taking a wine and beverage program at Disney University, bartending program there. I took a trainer course. So just any opportunity that comes your way, just be open to it. And just the amount of friends that you're going to meet down there, lifelong friends, what you can learn from other cultures, like you were talking about before, Mike, people from around the world. My roommates that I had when I first moved into my room, I had a girl from France in my room. I was in a 2-bedroom, and the other room had a girl from Germany and Mexico. And then when they moved out on their contracts, I had a girl from the UK in my room, and the other room was um, Japan and Italy. So just being able to interact with them, get to know about their cultures and their life back home and their family. It's so interesting, but just mostly just to soak it all in, take every opportunity you can, and you just it's quite the experience. You'll never forget, and I'm so glad that I did it, and I would recommend it to anybody. And just knowing that I was part of that magic, part of the Disney magic, part of the history in my own little way, I'm very proud.
Absolutely. And I love that attitude you had, right? You didn't get the role that you initially wanted, but you accepted the role that you got, and you made the most of it, right? And it turned out, like you said,
Absolutely.
turned out to be an amazing experience there in LaSalle. And I mean, at that time, I was going to LaSalle. You might have served me, because I remember like that was the best deal on the
You never
Disney
know.
Diamond plan. I loved going there. We went there all the time during that time, because I remember we'd sit down to get the bread. It represented all the provinces. We were there all the time.
Yes.
It was so good. Yeah. So who knows? But okay, so do you have any? Because I could tell space camp stories all the time. Some are fit for air, some are not, because some were off the record. When we went over to the place called Otters, which was the hotel bar that was next to it's just inside the Marriott, adjacent to space camp. But if you live in Huntsville, you know. But so would you like do you have any like celebrity encounters or anything that was really cool that as a Disney fan you would geek out over during your experience?
Yes, we had Bill Nye come in. Bill Nye, the
Oh my
science
God,
guy, came in
science guy. You don't
one
know how
day.
many times I showed his videos during when I taught. It was the Friday afternoon was always Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yes, we just kind of fanned out about him walking in. I know Andy Garcia was there one night for dinner.
Nice.
We heard rumors on, I believe it was New Year's Eve, that Mariah Carey was over in the UK Pavilion, but that was never confirmed. Maybe over there to see the fireworks or have dinner. Yeah, it was. You never knew who you're going to run into. I'm trying to think of who else that we might have. But Bill Nye, he definitely stands out for me. I
That,
didn't have anybody at my table in particular, but a few of my fellow cast members served the
that's
celebrities.
awesome. So it wasn't like a
Yes.
secret code like the bears in the den or something. Like be
Oh,
careful.
you would know. You would know when somebody was in there. Definitely, it got your attention for sure. But you'd have to play it cool, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I know. That'd be yeah. I guess you would. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I love hearing that kind of stuff. So, well, let's kind of move on past that. Maybe we'll come back to it here at the end. But I want to hear a little bit about your Alaska cruise, because you did that on the Disney
Yeah.
Wonder, and we have if for the sake of we have a ton of folks over in the Discord that are going on
Yes,
Alaska cruises here soon. If
I've
you
been
look at
seeing
the
that.
Disney Cruise Line channel, it's like
Yes.
75% Alaska talk, and I love this, and it's a great way to escape the 110-degree heat index right now. Talking about Alaska, so first of all, what did you think of the Wonder? Because I just got off the Magic, both the two classic ships. What were your impressions of the Wonder overall?
It just took my breath away when we first walked onto the ship. They called out our family name, and I was looking around like, wow, I got very emotional. I can't believe I'm here, because I never did take the opportunity to work on the Disney Cruise Line, which I regretted at the time. But walking on with my family, it meant a lot, and I was in awe of everything. I had been on the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas with my husband about 10 years ago for our honeymoon. So that was a huge ship, and we really liked the smaller ship. My husband's not really a traveler, and he does it for myself and my daughter. He's more of a homebody, so he liked the smaller ship. And there was just so much to do for adults and kids. My daughter had a blast. She's 6 years old. There was multiple opportunities to run into characters. I personally loved Cove Cafe. I would go there every morning. My husband and daughter would kind of sleep in, and I walk up there, get my coffee, talk to whoever was there, and then I would go on deck and just watch as we came into the different ports. It was very quiet, and I found that very, very nice, very relaxing. And we loved the restaurants. We absolutely loved Tiana's and the interaction that we had with the characters. We loved Animator's Palette. That was a highlight for us, creating our own cartoon characters that were part of the show at the end of the dinner. And just the quality of the food was outstanding. The service, the cast members that helped us on board, they were fantastic, and everything about it was. We loved our room. We ended up having. I will mention that. Sorry, we ended up having a bit of an issue in our room where we could hear maybe chairs being dragged across the floor. It sounded like maybe we were underneath a restaurant, and that was we tolerated it. We did mention it to the guest services, and we weren't complaining. We didn't really say we wanted another room. We were just inquiring about it. The amount of I don't even know what to mention. Like, they kept bringing stuff to the room. They would bring they brought us a photo portfolio. They brought us a Minnie Mouse plush character for my daughter with Rice Krispies. These items kept showing to the room. A bottle of wine, and it wasn't expected. I didn't expect it. I didn't want it per se, but I was blown away by they were trying to just to fix things the best way they could. But we were totally fine. We were just happy to be there. So that kind of blew us away. Just the level of customer service. I already knew from being a cast member what Disney was all about, but it still blew me away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The guest recovery kind of thing. Yeah, but they're taking care of you. Exactly. But I mean, that's good, because they want the experience to be positive in every way possible. And if that is disrupting you, that's the right play. And I love that you're glowing about that ship, because I think some people get nervous. Like, we have all these new ships. We got the Treasure, we got the Destiny that'll be around here in just a few months. I mean, it's going to float out next month, and be sailing here shortly right after that. And, of course, you got the Dream, the Fantasy, you got all these other ships now. But the Magic and the Wonder still have it. I mean, like, I just got off the Magic too a couple weeks ago. But you mentioned something too that really sticks with me, and it's the crew on the ships, and it's the cast members at World and Disneyland and so forth. I still, like, when I go look back, I mean, of course, Lighthouse Point was beautiful, Castaway Cay was beautiful. The shows were great. The food was awesome. I mean, I ate a lot of food. There's a lot of great stuff. But when I look back, I'm thinking about Andre that did the tastings. He was outstanding because he was like entertaining. He was educational, and he did teach us stuff about like where all the spirits come from, how they make the drinks and all. But he was a fun guy. Like, he made you feel like you're on vacation. Is everybody having a good time? And, your wait staff that, Mimi always had my Coke Zeros. She brought me 2 every time. Boom, boom, because I like Coke Zeros. And she was always like, are you happy? And I think that is the Disney difference. If you get it, under optimal situations, right? It's the people that make the magic. It's the cast members, it's the crew on the ships, and you nailed it. I mean, I think that's kind of what always sticks with you, right?
yes, and just the fact that they would follow you around to every restaurant. They were always there, a friendly face to greet you at the table. We got to know them. They got to know us a little bit. And they even sat us beside, which I found interesting. We have an only child, and they sat us next to a German family that had an only child. My daughter became friends with him at dinner. His name was Felix, and they had a great time. And I found that kind of interesting that Disney, I feel like that would have been planned on their part. I'm not sure.
No, they do. Yeah. Cause I mean, this is what I do for a living. I work with Disney Cruise Line very closely because I book them more than anything. And they intentionally do look at the profiles of the families, and they're very good at that. They look at, like, they'll put couples together. They'll put families with one kid together.
Which is wonderful.
Whoever does that is wonderful. Like, they are very intentional about how they put groups together at dinner. And it's funny because, like you said,
that's why they're the best.
exactly. And the thing is, and it's not like we're best friends, but we have gone on cruises outside of podcast cruises on the off years where and I never pick a private table because I'm kind of an extrovert, right? So I don't mind sitting with other people. So we'll sit with strangers, but they do such a good job because it's like, oh my gosh, like, how do they know that like we hit it off so well? At first you're
Right.
just like, hey, and like kind of you feel each other out the first night, but by the last night you're just like, okay, what's your Facebook? What's your Instagram? What like I don't want to leave you guys. Like we're all good friends now. Like when
Yeah.
you're gonna sail again, we gotta make sure we sail again on another cruise because
Yes,
it's so weird. It's
absolutely.
happened more than once with me. They're great at what they do. I don't know who does it, but somebody does.
Yes.
Somebody pays attention.
Yes.
It's wild. So,
Absolutely.
what would you say about your? Because I've never done Alaska yet. And everybody says I have to, but my
Yes.
wife loves the Caribbean, so happy wife, happy life, and I like the
Yes.
Caribbean too. But what about the ports? Like, what would you say was your favorite as far as maybe the ports and excursions up that way?
Well, we stopped in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan. And in Skagway, we went on the train ride through the mountainous terrain, ended up in Fraser, BC, and then took a bus back, which was really interesting. It was very scenic and beautiful. And then I ended up walking to the gold miner cemetery, which was kind of interesting to see. Um, in Juneau, we did, or maybe the gold miner cemetery was in Juneau. I'm just trying to recall. It's a little fuzzy for me, but we definitely did the train ride in Skagway. We went panning for gold in Juneau, and then Ketchikan, we did the lumberjack show, and we were just in awe of the beauty going through the near the glacier viewing area with the mountains. Everything was beautiful. We didn't have a balcony in our room, but we had the large window, and that was just fine for us. We would go up on deck if we wanted a change of scenery, and that was fantastic. We enjoyed all the ports, had a great time, met some of the locals. My husband really liked panning for gold. That was probably his favorite experience. And a highlight for us also, just being on the boat. My daughter went to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and she got dressed up as Belle, and she had a fantastic time. It was wonderful.
So you were in a deluxe ocean view stateroom on deck two.
Well, there you go.
See, using context
You
because of the rest.
know, you know your
I
stuff.
got this. Yeah, I do this every day. I can tell exactly where you are. So yes, a good spot for a cruise
Yeah.
on those ships. I like it. So yeah, I love this too because man, you pick great excursions. I think for having a child of that age because that's all stuff that the family can do together and you don't have to worry about like it's too tough with a younger child because I think you got to
Yes.
keep all this stuff in mind.
Yes. And
If
we,
it,
we booked
some
we
of these
booked
things.
through Disney as well, just to make sure that we were covered to get back to the boat with no problems. I don't think I would do it any other way. Always book the excursions through Disney.
Did you get there? Did you get in? So did you get into Vancouver like just the day before, or did you do anything in Vancouver?
Yes, we got into Vancouver the day before. We didn't have much time. We got there in the afternoon, and I had been to Vancouver before, but my husband and daughter hadn't. We went and saw Lionsgate Bridge, Stanley Park, walked around, had a really nice dinner. The next morning, we went to Granville Island. We got some donuts from a popular place down there, sat on the harbor, and there was a little kind of kids playground area that my daughter went on. She was happy. And then we took a Uber to the boat, and seeing the boat for the first time just
Uh,
it blew me away.
yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Disney boats better than any. I mean, just looking at them, you win every single day. It doesn't matter if it's the biggest boat,
Absolutely.
smallest boat. When you see the Disney
The
ship in
characters,
the
just they're appealing with their colors, but just the characters are really neat hanging off the back, and
so
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, totally jazzed every time I see a Disney ship. It's like I just love when like because I've been on the Eastern Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, like all over the place, Bahamas. It's like anytime you're walking around the port, like and you're doing an excursion, you're walking back to the ship, like that's my ship. It's the prettiest one. I'm sorry
Yeah.
because I have sailed Royal
They're
too, and I
they're
mean
stunning.
they're big. I mean they're monstrous, huge monster ships, but they're just white. they're so boring looking compared to the Disney ship. So I
Yes,
get it.
for sure.
Um, so let me ask you. Well, so you went to Disney. I gotta ask. I'm trying to. This is like a potpourri show, which I love because my attention span's kind of short tonight. So, when you went to Disneyland for the first time, because I did the same thing about the same time as you, and you're the huge Disney fan, like, and spent time, making the magic yourself. Like, what maybe surprised you? Like, what emotions hit you? Because man, Disneyland has got me right in the heart in 22 when I finally made it out there. Like I avoided it forever because I thought I wouldn't. I didn't think it would like be big enough. I didn't think I'd like it. Like I didn't think I would not like it, but I thought I'm going to be underwhelmed. But man, I fell in love with Disneyland like within
Yes,
10 seconds. But what about you?
absolutely. We love the park. It was so interesting to see the firehouse and knowing that Walt's apartment was up there and they have the light glowing in the window for him. That was really cool to see. We dined in the Blue Bayou restaurant, which was
Mhm.
really nice because my favorite restaurant at Epcot is the Sun Angel Inn.
Yeah,
Same kind of atmosphere.
same.
We had a really nice dinner there. We saw glowing ice cubes from there that and we loved 2017. I was not available at Disney World anymore. That was cool to go on that ride and just to go on the original like rides, the Haunted Mansion, and because I was pregnant, I didn't go on anything too crazy. But yeah, it was wonderful to see the park, and we'll have to go back another time. I'm thinking maybe it would be neat to go in 2030 for the 75th. I think it's
Mhm.
2030.
Well, it's
Is
the
that when the next
70th right now.
big
So,
milestone would be?
yeah, so yeah, it makes sense. There you go. Got to do a little math.
For the 75th, we can go back and our daughter can come this time, and that would be pretty neat. And maybe go over to DCA because we never checked that side out, and stay at one of the hotels there. I think that would be a really good time.
Yeah, Disneyland it's special. And I regret that I just avoided it for like well, part of it was I was scared to death to fly. It was a long drive. I mean, I'll tell you that.
Right.
My dad's a nut. He drives to LA all the time for football. I don't know how he does it. He's a maniac. But I was not doing that. But yeah, it's like, oh man, as soon as I immediately just I mean, the weather's so much more comfortable, just
Yes.
everything's closer. And I mean, and I'm a nostalgic. I'm a huge nostalgic. And I mean, you can tangibly feel the history everywhere you go there. It's just, oh,
Yes.
it's made for a
I agree
person
with
like me.
you.
Love it. And I mean, you mentioned it like Blue Bayou. Some people don't, I mean, I've heard people like in the Discord not saying, Blue Bayou, I could take it or leave it. Fine. That makes it easier for me to get in there. I love it. I don't, and
For
you're not
sure.
there for the meal. Like it's Monte Cristo and Hurricane. I mean, it's fine. Like I don't need fancy food. Like I don't,
I
it's good.
I remember having the beignets there in the French Quarter, and those were awesome. We just sat
Yeah.
on the patio there and had them, and yeah, the different things are coming back to me as I'm talking to you.
I don't need fancy. I think that's why I like Disneyland so much, right? Because Disneyland isn't so much fancy. It's more like leaning on nostalgia and like corn dogs and beignets and
Yeah,
Monte Cristos, which are basically like fried ham sandwiches, like
yes,
the churros. So, like hot dogs. Like if you can live on those kind of things, you're
you're
gonna be
good.
doing good at Disneyland. That's me.
Yes.
That's Mike Crawlin. So yeah, Disneyland's for me. So I don't need like all the fancy stuff.
Sure.
The mozzarella stick that I saw at Walt Disney World, we were down there before the cruise. Oh my God, that thing's a monster. We saw somebody eating one, and the thing stretched out to be about a yard long. I was like, I don't think I need that at my age. We joke about that on the podcast, but that thing is for real a heart attack. Like, what happened? I saw a kid eating it on the board. I'm not kidding, Rebecca. Pam and I were walking by because we stayed at the boardwalk the night before the cruise. The kid was sitting right there outside of the pizza window by not Via Napoli, Trattoria Al Forno. And she's
Mhm.
like, Mike, is that one of those mozzarella sticks you were telling me about? And the kid took it, and it was a monster before he even like stretched it. And then he took a bite. And I mean, he stretched that thing. It was like in football, like the sticks, that they do to measure.
Yes.
I was like, holy God. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
there's no way that thing can be for human consumption. I'm like, there is no. I was like, it's just because for a split second I thought I don't get one of those, and I'm like, no, like
Right.
I can't because I don't.
Bad idea.
I would eat it. I would eat it, and then I'd be like, for like a month, I'd be like, what did you just do to your body? Anyway, I don't know where we're going with that. So let me ask you another thing. So you guys have a trip planned for World, right? Coming up
Yes.
next month, right?
It's next month, August 21st to the 29th, and I have not been back to Disney World since 2008. I
Oh
worked
my
there.
God, that's so
It's
cool.
been a long time.
So, I
It,
mean, that's forever. So tell us about how this came. Like, when
yes.
did you start planning it, and give us the details on all this.
For sure. So we got back from the Wonder, and I didn't think that we'd be going anywhere for a couple years. And my husband and I were watching the Epcot program on Disney Plus, and I was like, man, I would love to go back there. I'm getting so nostalgic, and I would just love for you guys to see it. And he said, well, hey, if you can do it economically, we can make it work. Like, look into it. And I thought going there, we have to go crazy, stay at the Polynesian, go all out. And I looked into it and I booked Pop Century. We're staying at Pop Century, and it was reasonable. I ended up scoring the Disney like free dining a few months ago, and we're going. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. We're going to all the parks, 2 days at Magic Kingdom, 2 days at Epcot, 1 at Animal Kingdom, and 1 at Hollywood Studios. And then we'll probably go to Typhoon Lagoon on our check-in day. I've been to both water parks, Typhoon Lagoon when I was a child, and Blizzard Beach when I worked at Disney. But I think we're going to check out Typhoon Lagoon. And I can't tell you how excited I am just to get back there, walking down the pathway leading into Canada and the Cellier. I know I'm going to be so emotional.
Oh my God.
It's going to be amazing with my husband and my daughter, because I was a baby when I worked there, pretty much just a kid, and just how life changes things. You know, I'm married now, I have a daughter, and it's just going to be such a wonderful, I'm getting emotional now talking about it.
I know, and I get it. I mean, it's like life's come full circle for you, right? I mean, yes, I got to ask you this, like, tell me you have an ADR for Le Cellier, right?
Oh, absolutely. Right? I have.
If you don't, please tell me. Let's hang up right now and let's make one.
2 different days. Yes, 2 different days, but I do have a lunch and do have a dinner. Yeah, it's just going to be fantastic. And I just sitting in that dining room, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to talk to the cast members that work there, and just to see everything and see everything through my daughter's eyes. And it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait.
They should comp you that meal. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to make this happen. you deserve that. Like, it should be like, you know, like they should come out and sing to you, you know, and be like, you know, this should happen. I mean, I know in life, Disney is not that way. I wish they were still, but you know, the world, if I was CEO, that's how it would happen for your family. Everybody would come out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If I remember the last time I was in the dining room, I can picture it like it was yesterday. I was standing on a chair near the fireplace. We're on our contracts, and the team sang us "Oh Canada," and that was kind of like a send off. We were done our contract, and just a sense of accomplishment for finishing the year and being done. You know, happy to have done it, but sad I was leaving. And I still remember standing there, and it was that was my last time that I was there as a cast member, and it's going to be awesome going back.
It's crazy to think though, because you made the magic, right? You were part of the whole history, the thread of Walt Disney World, which we appreciate so much, is just folks who have gone and you know, just experienced Walt Disney World. So that's amazing. But like you missed a lot of the stuff we talk about on the podcast, like all the time. Like, you know, you didn't like go through all this stuff that gave us all the anguish that like we saw, we missed, we got taken away. So let me ask you this. So as you go down in August, what, besides the nostalgic stuff, like going and seeing Canada and like walking through some of your footsteps of the stuff you got to do in the past, what has you the most jazzed? Like, as far as maybe new stuff, maybe old stuff you want to see one more time, but what has you super stoked, like personally as a Disney fan, but also to share with your family?
Well, I'm excited to go on back. I was always a fan of Test Track. When I graduated the Disney program, I ended up going on that ride and had my picture taken with my Disney graduation cap on. I'm excited to show my family that ride, the new iteration of it, because I'm sure it'll be quite different. And just to see any changes that have happened, because so much has happened since I've been there, since I was there in 2008. I'm just trying to think, like, just the changes alone in the different pavilions. The Frozen ride in Norway, that will have changed. Remy wasn't there when I was there. Just to hit all the different pavilions. I'm super excited to show my husband and my daughter all the different pavilions and how unique it is. Mm-hmm. It's such a unique little place there. Not little, but place there. Just to go around the World Showcase, I'm most probably stoked about that, knowing that like I was a part of it and can show them. And Magic Kingdom, just just showing my daughter Cinderella's Castle. We are going to dine in Cinderella's Castle on the final night that we're there, and then see the Starlight Parade and the fireworks, happily ever after. Like that will be kind of the grand finale for us. Her being, I'll get her dressed up in her dress from the Disney Wonder that she got at the boutique there, and we'll go dine in the Cinderella's Castle, and that will be very magical. She's 6 years old, so it's turning 7 on Friday actually, so that'll be perfect for her. And yeah, just going around to different resorts, checking things out. I can't wait.
I love it. I mean, because it's kind of ironic because you're going to get to go down and have that fireworks and nighttime parade in the Magic Kingdom, dinner in Cinderella Castle, and this is what I got to do with Paige and Mallory, as they were about the same age.
Right.
And it's the I mean, truly, it is kind of the most magical thing you can think of as a parent, right? It's Magic Kingdom at its best, and we've been waiting over a decade to kind of get that perfect. To me, I mean, this is just me speaking, but the perfect night at the Magic Kingdom is the fireworks in the nighttime parade with the glowing lights, whether it was Spectrum Magic or Main Street Electrical Parade. But now Starlight looks to be incredible, which when this came out yesterday, I'm sure it's going to get glowing reviews. And that you get to do this, I am super stoked for you, because I can almost picture it already, like a Disney commercial, right? Eva just sitting there just with her little dress and just looking up at all the characters, her favorite princess and princes, and going by, and who knows, all the characters winking at her as they're coming down Main Street, or you're in Frontierland or what have you, and just the soundtrack's going to be incredible. And I mean, you'll probably be a mess because you've been waiting forever for this to happen. I mean, it's all the feels, it's all the emotions. But I mean, that's why we travel all this way, why we sacrifice throughout the year to make these things happen for our families. And you said this is going to be your last, and this is going to be your last night. I mean, this is how to end a trip.
Yes. Plus, I didn't mention my husband and my daughter, their thing has always been Toy Story, the Toy Story movies. My daughter was a huge fan of Jessie, my husband, fan of Buzz. That's always kind of been their thing. So going to Toy Story land, which was not there when I was there, we're going to go to the Roundup barbecue, go on Slinky Dog. That'll be a highlight, I know, definitely for our family. Can't wait to see that. And I know she's going to want to see Chip and Dale again, because they were characters on the cruise. She had multiple interactions with them, and dancing with her in the lobby, some of their dance moves, very entertaining. She kind of got the sniffles a little bit the day that she went to the boutique. We were sitting on, I think it's deck 4 with the running track.
Yeah.
She was kind of laying on me sleeping. Well, maybe she'd been sleeping for a half an hour. There, Chip and Dale come running down the deck and come up to us and lean over, and they basically woke her up from her nap. She woke up, and there's Chip and Dale just greeting her, and it was that I will never get. And I know she's going to want to run into them in the parks at some point. Yeah, she had really good interactions with them.
I'm sure they're going to be looking for her because they're going to remember her from the cruise. That's going to happen, and that's why I love cruising, because the characters do stuff like that on the ships. I'm saying they pop out of nowhere.
Awesome.
Especially if you hang out on deck 4, that is likely to happen to you. I've fallen asleep on deck 4 in those loungers many times.
Yes.
Goofy one time woke me up. Now that'll startle you. That big old face right there on you when you don't know where you are. Like you're having a good nap. I mean, like
I at least saw Chip and Dale coming, right?
Because I mean, I think I had Palo brunch, and I probably consumed 5,000 calories and just went down to deck 4. I'm like, I can't breathe. Like I'm just gonna lay on the lounger in the sun. I fell asleep. I was having the best dream of my life, like just best nap of my life. I didn't know where I was, and I fell asleep. And next thing I know, I feel something like on my cheek. Yeah, I know where I was. I kind of roll over. Boom, Goofy's right there. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm lucky I'm still alive. I mean,
Goofy's quite startled. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I know if I was on a ship, I didn't know where I was, but Goofy was right there staring me down. So yeah, just be careful. Oh my God. So I just love, like, you got this story, you got this history, you made the magic for us. You got a great trip coming up next month. Thank you for taking the time to come on with us, and also happy birthday to Eva. Sounds like she's got big 7 coming up next very soon. So happy birthday to her.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
And I just want to I want to tell you guys, if I can, I found you guys just by chance about 4 months ago, and I go for walks, and I was listening to like health podcasts, self-help, and that's all gone out the window now since I found you guys. It's only the Be Our Guest podcast. You guys put a smile on my face every day. I just love it so much. And I feel like I found my people with the community online as well. I think you guys do a wonderful job on your podcast. You have a great crew, and the community, awesome people. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate that so much. And we're the opposite, man. We encourage, I just said the 5,000 calorie paleo meal. I don't do it every day. I also walk and run 20 miles a day, just to counter, it's the yin and yang of the thing, right? I mean, it's that's not healthy either because my knees are shot, but I do everything in extremes. Like, most podcasts do a show a week. We do a lot because this is my favorite time of the day. So I appreciate that though. I'll pass it on to Scott.
You're passionate about it.
I do. I love what I do. I am the luckiest guy in the world to get to do what I do. So, and it's because of friends like you that come on and share the stories. And it's because of folks like you that make the magic at places like Walt Disney World, like Epcot, that we get to go and have so much fun. So Rebecca, thanks for coming on and sharing your story. And again, thanks for making the magic for us back in the day at Epcot. And maybe you served my meal at Le Cellier. It would not surprise me. Was that true about the bread with all the provinces? I mean, was that, or am I imagining that?
Yes, we had, there was 3 different types of bread, a sourdough, pretzel bread, and multigrain. And it was to symbolize, I'm trying to remember, at least Saskatchewan, definitely, the bread basket of Canada. Definitely. I can't remember the other 2 right now. It's but I'm definitely going to get my cheddar cheese soup, and I'm going to dip my pretzel bread in it, and it's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
I just know my wife and I are big bread people for appetizers. So we always heard the story, but we pretzel bread, man, that does not last long. It's always a fight for that. As soon as it's in there, man, it's like we're fighting. So
you know what's going to be different? I actually started out working in the beaver tail hut down there. And that was it's no longer there, but we're in this little shed, little hut with microwavable like toaster, all the sloppy toppings, and that was quite something. So that's not there now, but it'll be interesting to see definitely the changes. So
that's gonna be awesome. We'll have to, because we'll see you over in the Discord because you're over there. Yes. Rebecca, by the way, this is Rebecca A. I didn't know because
hello everybody.
You see the thread. It's pretty funny because I didn't put 2 and 2 together until later. But we'll have to connect and hear about the trip when you get back and do the kind of a part 2 to follow up here because I got to hear all this. So that's gonna be awesome.
I would be happy to come back on.
Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your summer and have a happy birthday with Ava. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And happy retirement to your wife.
Oh my gosh. She's enjoying it, but she says she'll enjoy it better when all the other teachers go back to school. Like, right now she says it's just summer. So I'm like, whatever, you're not working. So I just tell her to stop, I'm still working every day. So I'm like, just stop, just do your thing. You're retired. You're having fun. She took this book with us on a cruise, and because of course, when she retired, everybody got her like little gifts, her other teachers. And it's a big book of puzzles. It says like for the retired teacher, large print, and it's got like word searches and she sits around and does it. I'm like, stop. I'm like, it's just summer right now. You're like, you'll be retired like in the end of August. Like, you're too young. Anyway, I appreciate you, Rebecca. Have a good one. Thanks.
You too. Thanks. Have a good night.
All right. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite Disney destination, whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line. We talked about them all today, or even Adventures by Disney. No additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. Just click through that link there, and it costs you nothing extra. It just takes you right back to Amazon and supports the show. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And finally, you can support us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month is all it costs. And for that, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow me on the social media at Be Our Guest Mike, starting to share some of my pictures that I took during the Be Our Guest podcast cruise on Instagram. You can also follow me on x.com and Threads. And don't forget, coming over to the Clubhouse. It's our Discord server where the coolest Disney fans hang out 24/7. And it's just a lot of fun. It's for everybody. It's absolutely free. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And finally, live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Tune in any of those places. Give us a call. We can talk Disney. You'll be the star of the show. All right, we're going to jump out of here, and we'll be back again on Wednesday with more of your listener questions. You have a question? Get it in right away. It's Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. All right, so for Rebecca up in Canada, Mike here in Missouri, you guys have a great Monday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. That was good stuff. That was fun. Good job.
It was. That was awesome.
All right. So you got anything? So you guys had dinner since practice, or are you getting ready to have dinner?
My husband cooked dinner before. I was a little too nervous to eat anything.
Oh, man.
Knowing I was going to be on the podcast, I got kind of like nervous and butterflies.
Don't be nervous. Nobody's watching. It's fine. No. So what's for dinner?
Yeah. So my husband made burgers and some French fries, and I can have the leftovers now if I choose to. Not sure, but we're heading to Great Wolf Lodge tomorrow. Yeah, there's a Great Wolf Lodge in Niagara Falls, so we're heading there for my daughter's birthday.
Oh my gosh, we used to go there back in the day. Paige used to love that place.
Oh, really?
We didn't have one here. We had
awesome.
one in Kansas City, so we had to go, the other side of the state. Yeah, we went there. We'd always go in the winter.
How far away would that be?
4 hours, about 4 hours drive.
Okay, that's not bad.
But we'd always go like in the winter time because it was fun for us, because like it would be snowy or something, and we'd go in like January or something just to have a respite from the cold.
A getaway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man,
to me, it feels like you're not in Niagara Falls. It feels like you're somewhere else. Like they kind of have a little bit of their own style of magic at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
And it just feels like you're somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember
she's looking forward to it.
Because Paige could go down those slides just like for hours. And I'm just like,
nonstop.
I was pretty athletic back then, but I just remember like I back Paige. Like, stop. I can't keep up. I just want to go back to the room. I'll just watch you. Well, have fun.
That's what my husband's going to do. My husband's going to be watching, and I'll be the one in the water park.
Exactly. All right. Well, you guys have fun. And again, happy birthday to your daughter.
Thank you very much.
Right,
have a good night.
Later. All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, see you guys. What is it? Wednesday? I'll see you Sunday morning for Mike in the Midwest and Sunday night for the live call-in show. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.